is there tips that you would give in terms of where you should hold these kind of things and what you should do with that plan in terms of practicing, doing kind of dry run, that kind of stuff?
Of course, yeah. So yeah, the real bad trap to fall into is you store it electronically on your network, and then of course, if the worst happens, you may not be able to access that. So a hard copy is good. I wouldn't go as far as laminating it though, because the problem is that your network and your estate is constantly evolving, your business is constantly evolving. So the incident response plan needs to adapt and change. It should be a living document that is constantly being updated, but have a hard copy of it nonetheless, so that you've got something to recover from if you are completely offline for whatever reason. And then you talked about testing it. Well, I mean, it's all very well and good writing a plan, but is it a good plan? Is it a bad plan? Have you missed things? The best way to find out is through some kind of rehearsal. And again, you should be constantly doing that. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, it builds up familiarity in the staff. So they're not looking for the process they need to do. It becomes almost knee-jerk. And obviously, as you rehearse and test the plan, you find where the deficiencies are. Oh, we forgot about the new server we put up. You're finding the gaps that way. So there's a lot of good reasons. It's the same as doing a fire drill, right? Everybody should intrinsically know what to do when the fire alarm goes off. We shouldn't be looking around for the exits.
And I think you make it, it's a good point about the kind of evolving problem as well, because, you're right, you can't just laminate it and hope nothing ever changes. You're talking about, we've just bought a new server, or we've just taken on a new software as a service solution, or we've bought some cloud infrastructure. We've employed some new people. We've bought a company. There's lots of things that are going to change all of the time that you keep these things live. So ransomware continues to be a major issue, of course, for organizations. But, as a CTO, what are some of the other areas of security? What either in terms of security defenses that we can build, or security problems we should be aware of? What's some of the other things that you see commonly from a Sophos point of view that the organizations struggle with?
Okay, so understanding what is good practice is a real challenge, because there's a lot of organizations that, like us, we're a commercial organization. We're ultimately trying to sell you our wares. And everybody has a slightly different view on the thing that's most important, because obviously our judgment is colored by the things that we're producing. So if you want some good external advice, then looking at even simple things like Cyber Essentials, right? This will tell you what is good from a technology, from a process, and from a people perspective. It's a good, I wouldn't say it's a tick box exercise, but it's a good process to go through to make sure you're doing the right things for cyber. And as a really lovely side effect from that, if you go through the process, get yourself assessed, then you've got yourself a differentiator in the marketplace. You can say, we've taken cyber seriously. Your data's safe with us, and it hopefully will make you a more attractive organization to do business with.
And certainly one of the challenges that we see talked about kind of a lot is the resource problem. So, finding good cybersecurity professionals, maintaining them, having enough of them so that you can protect your organization. I mean, is that something, certainly something we get asked a lot at Gardeners, but is that something that you guys see, and, and what tools and what solutions are available to help companies deal with that?
Okay. Yeah, really good question. So, the first bit of emphasis is, if you're going to do cybersecurity properly, you actually need human beings at some point along the way. There is obviously technology measures that you can put in place. You buy endpoint protection, antivirus, for want of a better expression. You might invest in things like firewalls and all the other technology. But when all is said and done, this is still a people problem, because you need obviously people to set those things up, configure them. That should be constantly changing, constantly evolving. And even when that's done, the cyber criminals are always really good at getting around these technology in various different ways, using our own tools against us, for example. So you need a bunch of human beings that are eyes on, that can monitor the estate and see what's going on a day-to-day basis. The problem is that those people are in short supply. And the reality is that because they're in short supply, the wage demands are very high. So, if you're an SMB, then employing 5 or 6 cybersecurity analysts to monitor your estate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, it's not realistic. So one of the big innovations that we brought to market a couple of years ago now was the managed detection and response service. So this changes the game from us simply giving you a bunch of technology and saying, here you go, make the best of that. And instead, what we're doing is wrapping human expertise around there. So what we're doing is running a security desk, a SOC as a service, effectively, where the team will actually be looking to see, well, is this organization under attack? Are we seeing things that tell us the organization is about to be hit by ransomware? And then depending on the nature of the relationship that we have with that user, we might even go as far as actually responding to the incident on their behalf. If the cyber criminals choose to penetrate the network evenings, weekends, bank holidays, if this is a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday type organization, nobody is going to be there to do anything about it. And that's where we roll our sleeves up and we will get involved and kick the bad guys out, tidy up, and then obviously keep the customer informed about the things that we've done to keep them safe. So it makes world-class cybersecurity and that idea of a 24/7 team available and democratizes it for organizations of all sizes to be able to access it.
Yeah, and I think that 24/7 thing is really important, because even if you have managed to employ a really good security professional, or somebody you've developed into a really good security professional, because they obviously do exist, but it's not just having one, is it? It's having a team of, and then, it's that threat. And I think as our infrastructures have changed, as we consume cloud services, as many of us have moved to things like Microsoft 365, that actually our infrastructures, even if we're not a 24/7 organization, our infrastructure most certainly is. And those who wish to do that infrastructure harm are most definitely 24/7. In fact, the likelihood is that they're going to attack you at the times you're not going to be there. It's why weekends are always kind of good target times. It's why, after 5 o'clock, because if you're going to target the UK, target it when maybe they aren't eyes on.